one more point about the Bran storyline was it was nice to see in his visions the clip with the king, with the Mad King. You heard so many references to what happened in that time. To actually suddenly see it visually was kind of like, oh
Yeah,
that's nice.
and
It
I was
nice
thinking,
to see that.
are we going to see another one of these flashback scenes like the ones with Gunn and stuff? And
Yeah.
whether we will see actually Jamie killing the Mad King.
Yeah. And another question is Bran going to be responsible for the King's madness? That will be interesting to see.
You read that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what some people, he'll go back in time and.
Yeah, because of what happened with Hodor.
Yeah, I think this is all
I'm interested to see them.
Yeah, but there's a lot of these fan-based theories which are just.
But it seems to make sense.
I don't know. They all seem to make sense. So let's go on to the main storyline the main story for this episode was actually the confrontation in King's Landing between Jaime and the Tyrells on one side and the High Sparrow. And I think that was just Marjorie. She's just being very, very clever. Because from what she's done, essentially, she's won her contest against Cersei. Because it's all started off because she was trying to get rid of Cersei and be completely in control in King's Landing. And now Jaime's got to leave, and Cersei still has to undergo her trial. But she herself has atoned, so she's not actually going to be held for anything. So although Cersei started this off against the Tyrells, that was the original plot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cersei brought it up, and then she got Loras, she fixed up Loras and Marjorie at first. So now Marjorie is free, she's going to go back to being the queen, and Cersei still has to stand trial for her sins. Anyway, Marjorie's sin is not really a big deal, isn't it? It's just like she lied to protect her brother. That's all she actually did.
Yeah. She did look quite taken aback though when her grandmother turned up and stepped out of the box.
Yeah.
She kind of looked like she wasn't expecting that. And I think what she's done is out of self-preservation because she didn't realise that her family was going to make a deal with the Lannisters and get her out of the situation she was in.
Yeah. Because the audience was surprised when Cersei made that deal with the Tyrells because we didn't actually think. You didn't see it coming.
Yeah, because they were completely blindsiding the Lannisters. They were like not letting them be involved in any of the council meetings.
Yeah, and I guess Marjorie would have been genuinely surprised to see the whole Tyrell army just turn up because there's no way she would have known. But this is probably just her. But I think one thing I felt was in the scene where Jaime's taking off his armor and resigning as a king's guard, Tommen keeps looking up at his uncle Kevin. And I think we might be underestimating Kevin here because it just may be, this is just my theory, that Kevin actually is also not just a dumb blob, but he's got his own agenda and he's playing his own game. And he may be exerting some influence over Tommen. So that'll be interesting to see. Kevin is actually more than just a cardboard figure.
I don't really see him as more than just a supporting role. I felt that Tommen was just looking to him because he is the hand of the king.
But that's the thing about Game of Thrones, you see. It's like there are actually no supporting roles because all these people who in the first seasons you think they're just sidekicks like Sam, suddenly he's actually a main player and you're actually looking at his storyline unfolding. So Kevin is one of those people. He's been around since season 1. I remember him the first season, he's in Tywin Lannister's camp and all that. He's just he's a nobody because Tywin is the big shot. But now that Tywin's dead, he could well come into his own. And now he's Hand of the King. And also some of the things while he was the Hand of the King, he just left Cersei there. He didn't try to take her out at all. So I think Kevin is not just going to function as a pawn for Cersei and Jaime. he was playing that role with Tywin Lannister, but now that Tywin is out of the way, with Cersei and Jaime, I think Kevin himself may want to try and get more of
Is it Kevin?
I think it's Kevin. I'm not sure. Yeah. And okay. Then the whole Arya storyline in Bravos.
Finally becoming Arya again.
I've actually found that storyline quite interesting all along.
Yeah, it just it feels like it's taken a while to get
Yeah.
to the point.
Yeah, but I found it like it's been interesting all along, even when she was just a blind beggar and all that. Right, and they didn't spend that much time with her. But obviously, she's going to go off with that performing troupe, isn't she? Because there's no way you're going to introduce an actor like Richard E. Grant and then he's just there like to make a few comments and then go off. So
Well, you never know. He could just die.
no, he won't just die because if they want to kill him, they will build him up. They'll make us like him and think, oh yeah, like he's a good guy, and then they'll kill him. That's what they'll do. They won't just sort of like kill him off when he's. Hey, why should he be killed? He's just an actor. But you know, one thing I noticed about him, right? When he was talking, he refers to Ned Stark as Ned because while he's in the back rooms talking to the other actors, he actually says, "Oh, these people are like animals, like cheering and watching like Ned's head being cut off." And so he's not just a common person because he has got to be one of the aristocrats from somewhere in the north. Because
So you think he actually knew Ned?
who else refers to Ned as Ned? I mean, the king, Robert Baratheon, would call him. But who else? Everybody else refers to him as Lord Stark. You know, nobody actually calls him Ned. People might say Ned Stark, but not watching Ned's head cut off. To me, that's sort of yeah. It's like there is a bit of familiarity there, and you know, I'm wondering if he's actually a former aristocrat who's had to flee for whatever reason. And I don't think you cast Richard E. Grant in an inconsequential role as he's just going to be the head of the performance, and then Arya will be returned for a couple of episodes. And he'll go. I think that guy is definitely going to have a bit of a role in the coming episodes. That's my thinking. Um, did you think Arya would not kill the person? The lady?
Yeah, I didn't think that she was good. I don't know. It's easy to say that now.
Hmm.
I don't think that I think I was keeping an open mind.
I was actually thinking, is she going to be caught when she's putting the poison into that baby's
Yeah, when
bottle?
she was walking back out, I thought when she pulled the curtain back, there was going to be somebody behind her.
Yeah. I actually was like, is she going to be caught? And then after like she left, I thought, yeah, that's it. She's completed the mission. But then she came back and not. So it's like that's the good thing about Game of Thrones. You just don't know what's going to happen. But I think one thing we can rest assured is the other assassin girl is going to get it in the next season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's going. Arya is definitely going to kill.
She's waiting for her.
Yeah, and that's why she's put the light out because she's actually like
trained in the dark.
Yeah, she's practiced fighting blind, and now she's got a sword as well. So that girl's going to get it the way like those boys like she killed in the first one. Of course, she's now like a lot more practiced in killing people after stint in the town. So some very interesting developments with Walder Frey. It was actually good to see him coming back into the series. And it was nice to see Tobias. What's his name? Brutus. Yeah, it was nice to see him back in because I like that actor. He was in Rome. He played Marcus Brutus, and he's a good actor. He's a good actor. And I was thinking when he first came, like he had very little, to say and do back in season 3. And I thought that's a bit of a waste because that's a really good actor. So I hope he comes back in and has a bigger role to play in the whole in the storyline now because Jamie's going north and yeah, and well, I think the last bit that we still need to talk about is Khaleesi. So, what did you think of that sequence? I found it quite boring.
Yeah, because there's been some very dramatic sequences with Daenerys and the dragon already. For example, when they're in the arena and the dragon comes and saves her and she flies up on the dragon. So even though it had the same music, it's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like it's okay. So it's yeah, or is it just because like we watched Warcraft and how do you think the CGI in Warcraft compares to the CGI for the dragons and all that? Why not? They're two separate programs.
Because the talk about orcs again. Because the orcs in Warcraft are based on cartoons.
I don't think they look cartoony at all. I thought Duertan looked like
But
very
dragons are
real
real.
with hair on his chest.
Dragons are real.
Being dragons. But how do you think the two, in terms of
The dragons look better.
you actually think the CGI is
dragons-
better in Game of Thrones?
The dragons look more realistic than the orcs do.
I disagree. I thought the CGI. I mean, looking at these dragons, I was always like, wow, that's really cool. But after watching Warcraft, I'm like, yeah, this like kind of looks second class to me now. Yeah, I'm not that impressed with the dragons.
I think the dragons are fantastic.
Really,
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing that it was right at the end, you can see when the dragon opens its mouth, it's got those two tubes to shoot fire out like a flamethrower. So that was an interesting touch because you always imagine the dragons breathe fire and it comes out of their throat, but they had those two small things. So any predictions?
No, I'm just looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Maybe the next one's going to be a big
Yeah,
climax.
yeah. I think if they've got a building up episode, that'll be something big. But I guess in the next episode, Arya's going to run away. She's going to join that group of actors.
Yeah.
I think Richard E. Grant has got a bigger role to play in the story. And I won't be surprised if he's actually like somebody who's from Westeros, a person of some importance from Westeros. And it'll be good to see what happens when Jaime goes up north. I mean, they've got a bit in the preview where Jaime goes and he's actually like talking to the Blackfish. So we're going to see some interesting developments up there. So, well, that's it from us, I guess, unless you've got anything else to add. No? So, we're waiting for the next episode and even more eagerly awaiting What the Flick to put up their review. So, please put it up quickly.